Imagine an empire so vast, so rich, and so powerful that kings from across the world envied it. Its armies dominated the battlefield, its cities glittered with unimaginable wealth, and its emperors ruled over millions. Yet, within a shockingly short period, the Mughal Empire, once the jewel of India, collapsed. How did this mighty civilization, which survived centuries of war and conquest, crumble so quickly? The answer lies in leadership, corruption, rebellion, and the rise of new powers, all converging to bring down a giant. The Mughal Empire's decline truly began with the death of Emperor Aurangzeb Alamgir in 1707. Aurangzeb, the last of the truly powerful Mughal rulers, had expanded the empire to its largest territorial extent, stretching from Afghanistan in the north to the southern tip of India. His reign of nearly 50 years was marked by continuous military campaigns, especially in the Deccan, to subdue the Marathas and other rebellious states. While these campaigns increased the empire's size, they drained its treasury, exhausted the army, and overextended the administration. Aurangzeb left behind a vast empire but no stable succession plan. Within months, his sons plunged into a brutal civil war for the throne, wasting precious resources and manpower. Generals and governors started acting independently, collecting taxes for themselves, and ignoring central authority. The empire that had once been disciplined and feared became fragmented almost overnight. Aurangzeb's death marked not only the end of a reign but the beginning of internal decay that the Mughal Empire could never recover from. Following Aurangzeb, the throne was occupied by emperors who lacked leadership, experience, or authority. Many were puppets of court factions, while nobles and warlords exploited the chaos to expand their own power. The central government lost its ability to govern effectively. At the same time, new powers were emerging. The Marathas in the Deccan consolidated their armies and expanded aggressively. The Sikhs in Punjab began organizing into a disciplined military force. The Rajputs regained independence and asserted regional authority. Other provinces, including Bengal and Awadh, were increasingly run by local Nawabs acting autonomously. The British East India Company also began expanding quietly, leveraging trade and diplomacy to build influence. With weak emperors and rising regional powers, the Mughal Empire slowly lost its grip. The once united empire became a collection of semi-independent states, while the emperor in Delhi became largely symbolic. The empire's vulnerability was brutally exposed in 1739, when Nadir Shah of Persia invaded. The Mughal army, which had once terrified the world, collapsed at the Battle of Karnal. Delhi fell quickly, and chaos engulfed the city. The Persian army massacred thousands and plundered unimaginable treasures, including the peacock throne, the Kohinoor diamond, and the entire Mughal treasury. This invasion destroyed not only the empire's wealth but also its prestige. Regional governors gained even more independence, and the central authority's credibility was shattered. Even after Nadir Shah returned to Persia, the Mughal Empire never regained its strength. The once great capital of Delhi now symbolized weakness, corruption, and decay. While external invasions weakened the empire, internal corruption and mismanagement sealed its fate. Officials exploited peasants, soldiers went unpaid, and tax collectors drained the villages. Famines, floods, and local uprisings were ignored by emperors more concerned with palace luxuries than governance. As regional governors became independent, provinces like Bengal, Awadh, Hyderabad, Punjab, and Rohilkhand acted like autonomous kingdoms, raising their own armies and collecting taxes for themselves. The Mughal emperor in Delhi was left powerless, with only symbolic authority. The empire's military and financial infrastructure crumbled, leaving it unable to enforce law or maintain order. Without money, there was no army; without an army, there was no control; without control, there was no empire. Amid this chaos, the British East India Company seized opportunities to expand. In 1757, they defeated Bengal at the Battle of Plassey, and in 1764, they secured victory at Buxar. These events established their political and economic dominance. The Mughal emperor remained a figurehead, respected in name only, while the British extended their influence over trade, military, and politics. Provinces that once contributed to Mughal power now paid tribute to the British, further weakening the empire. By the late 18th century, the Mughal Empire was little more than a symbolic relic of its former glory. The last emperor, Bahadur Shah Zafar, became a symbolic leader during the First War of Independence in 1857. Rebels in Delhi proclaimed him the rightful ruler of India, hoping to restore Mughal power. However, the rebellion was crushed by the British, and Delhi fell. Bahadur Shah Zafar was captured and exiled to Burma. With his exile, the Mughal Empire officially ended. An empire that had lasted over 3 centuries collapsed completely in less than 150 years after Aurangzeb's death. The collapse of the Mughal Empire was not the result of a single event but a combination of factors. Exhaustive wars, constant military campaigns drained the treasury and army. Weak and corrupt leadership, inexperienced rulers failed to maintain authority. Administrative corruption, officials exploited peasants, soldiers were unpaid, and the system broke down. Rise of regional powers, Marathas, Sikhs, Rajputs, and Nawabs became independent. Foreign invasions. Nadir Shah, Ahmad Shah Abdali, and others weakened the empire. British expansion, the East India Company capitalized on internal chaos and fragmented authority. In short, the Mughal Empire collapsed not because it lacked strength at its height but because it failed to adapt, reform, and maintain central control. Its story remains a powerful lesson about the fragility of even the greatest empires. The Mughal Empire was a civilization of grandeur, wealth, and influence, yet it fell swiftly because of human ambition, neglect, and mismanagement. From Aurangzeb to Bahadur Shah Zafar, the empire shows how leadership, unity, and governance are the pillars of any lasting civilization. Its legacy, however, lives on, in India's art, culture, architecture, and history, a reminder of both glory and the consequences of failure.